I see everybody is so upset about tariffs, but for the history of the United States, tariffs are actually the only form of taxation that the government implemented. From 1790 to 1860, the tariff rate was actually 20 to 60%, which is way higher than what Trump has it now. And then from 1860 to 1920s and 30s, it was around 20%, 20 to 40%. So it's very ironic that everybody is getting so upset about tariffs when on top of that, the founding fathers had actually said that the only taxation that the federal government should do are tariffs. So the founding fathers said, no, don't do income tax, don't do any other taxes. Property taxes were minuscule in the past, and the only tariffs that they did were the only taxes they did were tariffs. The reason is that a tariff punishes buying from a foreign country. So when you buy, you're only going to pay the tariff when you're buying a product made abroad. So, and the problem with that is that when you're buying a product made abroad, your money, that country's money, is going to the country that's exporting products. So the tariff prevents that. It keeps the money in the country, forcing you to buy domestically. And what that does is that keeps the currency within the country, and that currency continues to circulate and stimulate local growth. Now, for 125 years, the United States was the world's richest country and the world's largest manufacturer. The United States, for 125 years, and from first it was the British Empire, and the British Empire used extensive tariffs to keep their colonies from developing industrialized economies and manufacturing. And that went until the 1890s, when the United States became the world's most powerful country, thanks partially to no taxes within the country and tariffs on imports. And it allows a local economy to stimulate. And from 1890 until 2010 or 20, we were the world's biggest manufacturer. However, we reached our peak in maybe the 30s or 40s, 1940s, and where we made almost half of the world's global manufactured products. Almost half of the entire world's. One country versus 180 other countries. We made it all, and that's why traditionally we were so rich. However, that changed. That started to decline. And the reason is we switched from the model that the founding fathers said we had to follow, tariffs, to we got rid of tariffs and we started to do free trade after the 1940s, and instead started to rely on income tax as the main method of tax collection for the federal government. So we switched from a tariff-based economy to a federal income tax-based economy. And due to that, our manufacturing and production output has crashed. It's completely crashed. We're at 7% of the world's manufactured output of products, and that's shrinking very fast. And now China makes most of the world's goods. Now, here's why that's a big problem. And now China developed their economy by doing what we did to build our economy. They actually imposed heavy tariffs on American-made goods, so we couldn't ship goods to them, and they developed their own economy and managed to take over and undercut our industry, and with help of companies like Amazon, and until most of our manufacturing has been put out of business. But now that's a big problem, because China, think about it, World War II, when the United States defeated the Nazi Germany and the Axis powers. We did that because we were the world's top manufacturer. We could easily switch our factories to make what was needed for the components of war. We can't do that anymore now because we're deindustrialized. But China, on the other hand, which has their sights set to defeat us militarily, is completely in almost a complete 180 in a very short time span, able to do that. So if we were going to go to war, China would be able to out-manufacture us in bombs, drones, planes, and they could easily overtake and overwhelm us. And this is why getting manufacturing back is a national security emergency if we don't want our kids to live in a defeated second world, third world country. So it's very important that we support the tariffs, and we need to double down, triple down on the tariffs, and we need to remove income tax immediately. And if we do these things, then we might have a chance at restoring our country, but we need to do them fast.